What's up, y'all? This is your boy Ghost Rider 730. Let's talk about it podcast with my co-host Hebot. Let them know where they can find you at, Hebot.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you? Just see your boy Hebot here. About to do a little talking about some gaming breaking news, and hopefully we get some good points out. And you guys are hear us out because I know the first thing you're gonna think is that we're trying to hate, and that's not what we're doing at all. Trying to educate. Good to be here.
That's what's up, yo. And Tuck Master, the one and only Tuck. What's up, Tuck? Let them know where they.
Hey everybody, it's your boy DJ Tuck Master. As far as education of pony, you can't educate them. You can try, but it ain't gonna do. It's not gonna do no good. So let the hate begin.
Hey
That's all I
guys,
say about that. See, like I said, he bought. See, you the educator, and I'm the one that make common sense. Okay.
Yeah, we try to
So
work
let's
as a
get it over,
cohesive
man.
unit. We try to be the box enders.
yeah, man. Hey guys, man. This is very interesting. I don't know if it's a rumor, but you know, we're gonna talk about it because this is what the show's about. Let's talk about it. We're gonna be honest.
Now it's not a rumor. It's a
No, it's not
fact,
a
man.
rumor. It was
It's a fact.
confirmed. It was
It's a
It's
confirmed. It
fact.
was
confirmed.
confirmed.
So I know guys, and y'all know this. We was one of the first ones. Been out there for a while. The Pony was talking about the Azure cloud was trash, man. Like it wasn't real, man.
Hmm.
But PlayStation needs it, guys. I don't understand that. So
Well,
Ain't nothing to really understand, man. So
yeah, man.
but I'm
So
gonna he might do whatever you gotta do. Hey, y'all do what y'all gotta do. But
I
I'm
tell,
loving this. I'm
oh, you
telling you,
love it.
I'm loving this.
I'll tell you this, Heba. Let me know what you think about this, man. PlayStation, the Azure cloud. You know what I mean? Like they
right, right,
need.
right. I mean, well, there's a lot of different points from this. First, the point of like a lot of people saying that the Azure's cloud service was more of a mimic, a gimmick, that it's not really real because Microsoft doesn't really show it off when it's something that can't really be shown off. It's something that they use, and you'll know based on the infrastructure of the console when you play online and the way they utilize it. Certain things, like with Game Pass and things like their games like in Forza with the driver tars, things like that. So that's the first thing. Now this basically eliminates any of the dumb nonsense, because it's really nonsense really at the end of the day, when people, especially like the fanatic Sony fans that love hating on everything Microsoft just because it's Microsoft, saying, oh, it's fake, Azure's right, the Azure's cloud is not real, even though Sony was very open-minded and honest about them being, having the Gaikai, service that they invested millions of dollars on, millions, which, we all knew, and we've been saying for a long time, that it's inferior, that it's really not as good as Xbox Azure's cloud, and
Hold
people are like, yeah, right,
on,
bullshit.
hold
Some
on.
people
One
have,
thing. You
yeah.
just said the key word right now. It's inferior.
Mm,
You understand that? What you just said
right.
now, you was right. It's inferior. That's
Well,
why. Go ahead, break it down, boy. Keep talking.
what I'm trying to say is a lot of people, we were saying that it's
Uh huh.
inferior based on the infrastructure. The way Xbox Online works, the way that you're able to do certain things on Xbox, that you have even the second step authentication, something as simple as that Sony can't do. It doesn't have, because a lot of their things are just open, too open, and a lot of people's accounts and information, based on past events, have been compromised in a big way. Uh, so this also cements now that Sony conceded, in the sense that they admit that the Gaikai that they invested in wasn't the best decision. It wasn't the It's not better than obviously Microsoft's Azure. Um, and they had to get the help. Basically, they had to get help because now they're going into the PS5.
Yep.
And I think one of the biggest problems that they have with PlayStation 4 was that they could never figure out how to get that network infrastructure on the PS4 the way that Xbox has it, the way they needed it. And it's the same thing for Nintendo. That's why Nintendo is also venturing with Microsoft into that online ecosystem and infrastructure. At the same time, this is Microsoft's, in my opinion, from what I see, and I think a lot will agree, is that this is their bigger picture of taking over to compete head on with what Google's going to try to do with the Stadia, because the Stadia looks and sounds to be a really big deal. Um, so by them having alliances with the three biggest gaming companies and that's around, them included, which is Nintendo and Sony, now this changes the playing field big time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
uh, because you're going head on with the three biggest gaming companies, and on top of that, you got developers. But I think a lot of people, the biggest problem is that we can't misconstrue that this is saying, oh, PlayStation exclusives are now going to be on Xbox, or that the Xbox Game Pass and exclusives is now going to be on PlayStation. That's not what this is. This is just them saying we're going to use the Azure servers and cloud system to run our streaming services uh, for the future, right? And
Yeah.
even to build AI within our games for the future. Being point that I was saying something like the avatars and or the drivatars rather in Forza, where they could use things like that in, let's say, GT Sport. Because a lot of people really like them, and now they can actually utilize it uh, with the access of Azure, because get your energy, because of the fact that Microsoft's Azure cloud service works, and it's already been proven to be working for years. Even though a lot of naysayers like, oh no, it's not working, that's not real, that's just them blowing smoke and mirrors up the ass, up our ass, trying to use us. A lot of people are like, oh no, this is trying to, they were trying to, how you call it, skew it around, trying to say Microsoft went to them because they know who the leaders are, because so that they could be under their wing. I'm like, dude, stop,
Can't spin it. They
stop,
can't.
stop spinning shit and stop goalpost moving. It's clear as day that Sony, is basically admitting we're going to use Microsoft's Azure servers because ours is not good enough, and we need help, and we want to build a better structure for our fans and our consumer base, which is good. Sony fans should be happy because they're like, well, damn, now that Xbox up their shit there and that shit works on the Xbox side, I'm definitely gonna feel better with my Sony online structure. This is not about bragging rights or who's better. This is not even a console war type deal, to be honest with you. This basically ends console warring at a certain extent because it's just they just proved today they needed Microsoft to help them. And what's
Yes.
the best thing about it is all those people and the haters, even Sony themselves, because they've been having a big mouth all generation, trying to slander, talk shit about Microsoft, being cute to try to keep their fans happy, because and the bias in the media and to keep the media talking and so they can stay relevant. It's a shame and it's funny at the same time because now after all that shit talking, at the end of the day, they technically had to bend over and take it up the wazoo because Microsoft is the only one that can actually help them in this situation. And again, I'm not saying that to try to sound like an asshole. It is what it is. It's the reality of it.
Yeah.
You know. So and yeah, I know people are gonna be, oh yeah, but PlayStation now started gaming service way before Microsoft. Yeah, and look, until this point, it still hasn't gotten fixed. But again, that's also a misconstruction or misleading topic because the real people that started gaming service was Sega with the Sega channel back with the Genesis era. And a lot of people don't know that, but that was the first gaming streaming service to before all this, and this was years ago.
Yeah.
But Sony started it before Microsoft for sure,
Right.
obviously. But it's been what 10 years since they've had it, and still it's inferior. It doesn't work the way they wanted to. So I mean, I think it's a good thing, especially for the Sony fan base,
Who?
because now their games will run better. They'll have a better online eco structure, probably more than likely.
Yes.
Maybe even perhaps second step authentication, so their stuff is secured and protected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like this. Who better to come to then? Sony did the right thing by coming to Microsoft and saying, they needed help.
Right,
And
right.
I feel that Stadia or whatever,
Stadia. Yeah, no,
Stadia
you said it. You're saying it
gotten
right.
gotten PlayStation, Microsoft at least unite,
Right, right.
because
And Nintendo.
that's a
And
big dog
Nintendo.
entering. Listen, to have the big dogs uniting together, that means that company is very, very, very dangerous right now, probably to Microsoft. Now Microsoft got its competition, even though
Right.
PlayStation was competition to all of us, but now the real heavy hitter entered the building, and they got money just as much money as Microsoft.
Well, remember they just announced that they became $1 trillion company as well. You know,
Whew,
they're
that's
the
what I'm
third one in the
saying.
world now,
Third one in the
next
world.
to Amazon, and I think next to Google, or is it
Yep.
Apple?
I know they all
Apple. I
got
think it's
bread. I
Apple. I
know
think
they
it's
all
Apple.
got
I think
money, and
it's
they
Apple.
entering
Yeah.
the streaming. But now I want to answer this guy. If you want to answer him, he put down Vertex 88, the logical Xbox gamer said, laugh out loud. All y'all can do is read news. It's sad that y'all can't accept the future. Even your Xbox gamers are still clueless what is happening. I don't get that. We was just explaining ourselves that we do accept
Okay, but
the future. Like,
what exactly you mean that we can't see the future? What future? What are you talking about? What
exactly.
future? I would love to know what future you're talking about.
Exactly. If you still
Because we're
watch.
talking about the deal that Sony and Microsoft just made today for Azure cloud services to help them run their services, meaning PSN now, right? And to bring it possibly to multiple devices, meaning your tablet, your phone, under the PlayStation brand. This doesn't mean PlayStation can't offer their exclusives or Microsoft can't offer their exclusives. This is just them helping them build an infrastructure so that they
Yes.
can have the same type of accessibility with their customers based off their tablet, their laptops, perhaps maybe even their phones, because basically what you buy goes with you. You know what I'm trying to say? Which has been the whole mantra that Microsoft has been um,
I'm
basically.
sorry about that, fellas. I'm sorry.
Uh,
That's okay,
all
Tuck.
right.
It's been the whole mantra Microsoft has been preaching for quite a while now, for the last 3 or 4 years, that they want you to take your games wherever you go. Xbox is the brand, but you can play it either on the Xbox console, on your PC, on your laptop, or on your phone. They never said, oh, you're going to go play it on the Nintendo Switch or you're going to go play it on the PS4. They never said that. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
They're saying under their moniker. Windows is PC, and most PCs, like 90% of them, maybe even 95, run Windows, basically the operating system. And Windows is Microsoft. So this is why they bring a lot of their titles to Windows, because and which is on PC, because they are PC as well.
Oh,
They're
yep.
Windows. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you mean by that, about what the, so please clarify it if you since you said something, so we don't feel confused, because um, I don't know what we're saying that's confusing at the moment. We just started talking. I mean, you're already accusing us of not seeing the future. A future of what? That
Uh,
Microsoft is just gonna put their games on every other console. That's what you're alluding to. I mean, I don't understand what you're trying to
I,
say.
I don't. Yeah, I don't understand
You
that. But
know?
definitely, he bought Tuckmaster. What you got to say about this on the topic?
I mean, somebody's already commented already.
Yeah, he says he's a
Is somebody already
logical
talking about it?
Xbox
Wait a
gamer.
second. What
You
is
know
he
how they
saying?
be having soccer accounts. I don't know who's this. Probably I don't know. He might be an Xbox dude. I don't know this dude. You understand? It's the first time me seeing it up there. So
Mm.
you know, but Tuck, I would like to hear
Well,
your thoughts.
okay. Well, my thoughts about the whole doggone thing is like this. Okay, it's a good idea. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's all a good thing. I mean, Sony realizing that the internet is not all that great and they need help. And ain't nothing wrong with this asking for some help. Okay, and the thing about it is business at the end of the doggone day.
Right, right, right.
And the way this whole thing is going is like, oh, did something today that they got over like 700,000 people on their um
Oh yeah,
on
yeah,
their
yeah.
PSN.
They announced that only 750,000 people are on their PSN now service.
right, and
Wow.
then you
which
got
is their
And,
gaming service.
and how
And
long
then
that PS Now been out?
for like 10 years at least, or
For 10
maybe
years?
eight, or about eight. Yeah. PSN now, about
yeah,
8 years,
Oh
give or
man.
take.
yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile,
But
there was a leaked article that was explaining that somebody that's on the inside that knows a little somewhat that Microsoft's Game Pass, even though it's only been 2 years, is that almost 10 million people have
That's
Game
yeah,
Pass,
that's
which is
that's crazy.
crazy. The numbers are crazy.
that's
Uh,
crazy.
but I think, but I think it comes from the fact that they have exclusives there, that it's not streaming, it's downloaded, and also the fact that it's on a good ecosystem, based off an online ecosystem that's safe, and people feel safe on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That they don't feel like their stuff will get stolen. Go ahead, Tug. Finish talking. I'm sorry.
Hey, but
Hold on, guys. For the people
let's say,
watching out there,
let's
can you
talk,
please share this video out there and let us know down in the
but,
comment section on what you think, your thoughts?
Right, right,
Go ahead, Chuck.
for sure.
but let's talk about at the beginning of this whole Game Pass thing. All they said wouldn't work. It was junk and all that stuff. Now you
Right.
get over like 10 million people using this service. So Xbox is
Hmm.
making money, fist
They're
over
making a
dollar.
billion
They're
dollars a
making money.
year in revenue just on Game Pass. Put it like that. A
Yeah.
billion,
And then
if those numbers are
now all of a
correct.
sudden now all of a sudden here go, PlayStation, they finally fold in and getting the EA access in July. Come on,
Right,
y'all. I
right.
you hear all this hype. I don't know if I want it and everything. I said, dude, you might not want it, but people do want it.
But Sony's doing
Like I
it
said,
because they see the numbers, the successful numbers
yeah,
that Microsoft is having with that. So they want to
right.
bring it to their fan base. They
It's
want to give their fans, the same option, because at the beginning, remember, they said they don't need that, but they quickly realized, no, that's not the case. People
that's
do
the
want
future.
things like that. People want,
Well, really,
things like that in the option. It's just an option.
It's an
The more
option.
option, the
yeah,
more value.
It's more value.
you know what thing about it is, they knew at the beginning, that it was that it was revenue.
Very sweet out the
They
show
knew
for
at
me
the
on Twitter.
beginning. It's just the fact that Sony wanted to get on their little pride horse, thinking that they PSN service all of that, and that's
Hmm.
all it is to it. They thinking they PSN service all of that, and it ain't nothing but a daggone rental service. I
Yes.
tried to tell
Right.
people a long time ago, ain't nothing but a daggone rental service. It ain't nowhere in hell that is better than live. Ain't nowhere in the world better than the Game Pass. And and about time they say, hey, when you only got that many people on these servers on their PSN, oh, the pressure's starting to mount
Chuck.
because those investors is very pissed. They still pissed off at Sony.
Yes.
So when
Right.
it comes
Right.
down to that, oh, they better do something.
You have
You
to.
better make some kind of money.
Yeah. Chuck.
No, it just that to me, Sony just had a pride, and they just didn't know what to do, and now they got to do it. So
Well,
the
I
way
think I think also what it is too, Tug, to add to what you're saying, and excuse me for interrupting you. I think what it is too is that Sony is realizing that there's a lot of profit to be made
Yes, that's
by
what I was gonna say.
giving their fan base options. You see what I'm
Hmm.
trying to say? And I also think a lot of people that were first there at Sony, like Jack Tretton and Andrew House and things like that, that were there before in the beginning of the generation. I think a lot of these people, since they left and they have new blood there, new people managing them, they
yeah,
realize, let's do things a little differently. We gotta move
you
with
got
the
to get on board.
times. Well, we got to move with the times, because if we stay stuck in this old fossilized type of mentality, we might end up not being here anymore, like it happened to Sega, like it happened to, Nintendo to a certain extent for a while until they finally had some success, because Nintendo came out with four consoles, and a lot of them had backlash. From the Wii to the Wii U, from the 64 wasn't really well received as much as traditional ones, and even the GameCube. I mean, to a certain extent, if you really want to be realistic about the situation, yeah, they've always been here,
Yeah,
but they never found that success they did with the NES or the Super NES, like they did until now, what they're having with the Switch. Because it's obviously a portable console. which is basically the way
Yeah,
it really is. So I think Sony's mentality is, listen, it's working for Microsoft and it's working for other people out there, and people like Google are going to try to invest as well in the same type of structure for their gaming. I think we need to get on board because we have a lot of good games to offer on our part, and the people want to play. So if we can offer it, via streaming services on on any device that that's out there, not only just our console, then that'll bring us more revenue. And I think that's really the mindset.
that's right.
I don't think it has nothing to do with them folding because they feel we got our asses kicked.
Yeah.
Microsoft. I don't think it's even about pride. I think it's just they want to make money.
I,
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
they want to
I
make money.
I see it like this. Everybody feels like Microsoft lost this generation. I
Right.
feel like, yeah, we probably did lose this generation, but at the
I
end
think
of the day,
the only thing we
Microsoft,
lost was sales goals, to be
yeah,
honest. And I mean,
it
it's
was
the truth.
sales, but no, it's not only
Console
that.
sales.
What I'm trying
That's
to
it.
say is this: console sales, but look at the bigger picture. When
Hmm.
Phil Spencer and them said there's 2 billion or billion gamers out there, they
Yeah.
were going for the 2 billion gamers. That means they putting stuff out there to make even more money. It's all about the money. It's all about the
Two
cheddar.
years.
It's all about
That means they want to
chicken.
go in deep.
Yes, they was going all out. Sony was like,
Hmm.
nah, but now they see, hold on, and they seeing Stadia or whatever. They seeing, I think it's Google that's coming out with their own console. They seeing the streaming console that,
But it's gonna film next
yeah,
year.
yes, and they like, yo, these guys are major players. Is getting in this. There's a lot of money into this that they're gonna make out of it. Are we gonna get down or lay down? You understand? Are we gonna let them get all the
yes,
money and
yeah. You got
console
to make a
sales? Because
choice.
Microsoft's gonna have console sales and streaming. You understand? They're gonna get
Yeah.
on tablets, whatever. They're gonna make money. So they like, yo, we gotta put up, we gotta do this now. And they had to at least tuck in their pride and ask Microsoft for help or to use. You understand?
Yeah,
You wanna better yourself and better your service
yeah. I mean,
because you are going against major players. And if these big
Hmm.
ballers and major players get this shit together, Sony's in trouble. No matter if they got, remember, and another thing, Microsoft is strategizing. Okay, you in more territories than us. How to beat more territories? We going everywhere.
Well,
We going
they're
one.
trying to
Yes,
they're trying to reach all those other territories without having to spend the money. Taking the consoles, having to ship
exactly.
them out with the games. They're trying to do it. That's why they're giving you that streaming service because
Hmm.
it'll be easier for them
well,
to get to other countries without having to spend the money, especially in the countries that they're not really accepted as well. That people don't really care about at Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? And this is a smart way to reach them without having to lose any money, but still give them, or
Exactly.
as much money, but still give them the option and all the bells and whistles and love that Microsoft gives their customers in this areas and states that they are big, like here in the United States. You know what I'm saying?
okay, but let me ask you this though, fellas. Okay,
Hmm.
now you remember when Windows first came out, when this new Windows
Okay.
system first came out. Microsoft was offering Windows free for what, 2 years?
Yeah, to everybody. Hmm.
For 2 years for everybody for 2 years.
Yeah.
So with that 2 years, man, do you know how many people got Windows overseas, Windows in the States, Windows
Hmm.
all over the land
It was a
for
free
free?
upgrade. Yeah, it was like over 200 million people I think downloaded it, the
Then all of a
Windows
sudden,
upgrade.
then people gonna say, well, why? Well, how is Microsoft gonna make their money? Oh, they making
Well,
their money now,
through using everything through their service, through their
right?
or through the AI. I mean, through their
So,
what you call that? Oh my God.
I mean, do you
What
know?
you
I mean, it's like Apple. You know, you
mean?
got people that Apple have Apple use Microsoft Live. I mean, use Live. I mean, use Windows. I mean, so Microsoft's foot in everything. I mean, it don't make no difference what it is. They foot is in the
Listen,
door of everything.
you know the old saying. Excuse my French. Money talk, bullshit walk. At
Yeah,
the end of
Right.
the day, we can speak our opinions, but these are major players, and Microsoft is a big company, and they know how to make money. At the end
Mhm.
of the day, PlayStation's also a big company. They know how to make money through their
Where they have the
hardware. And
perception,
yeah,
they just fixed their perception after all the backlash they got from PS3. They fixed that. They want to keep
yes,
that type of momentum. So how do they do that? By making the smart moves for the next console, so that the console will still keep them in a relevant place. If
Right.
not, they're gonna lose that relevancy, and it's not, and they're not gonna be able to keep that momentum. It's just I think it's just them being smart. That's basically what it is. It's them being smart, thinking ahead, which is what every company should want, because without money, there's no progression. If you don't have money, you're going to go to the wayside, and you're going to be bankrupt, and you're going to close down. And that's not what they want to do. If they want to preserve their PlayStation studios and their PlayStation division, because it's very important to a lot of people, even though we may not always agree with what they do, but it's still important at the end of the day to a lot of people. So in order to keep it there alive and well, and that is going to bring them, keep keep going forward with more content, of quality, based on off their structure. You need that stability. You need that environment where it's going to be quality, and it's not going to fail on you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they want to spend any more time with the next console worrying about how to fix online, worrying about how to have their service run better. I think they want to concentrate on just delivering good content and giving more options, like, let's say, backwards compatibility to their customer and fan base. That's why I said that the Sony fans should be happy about this, not looking at it as, oh, that they're stupid, or now Microsoft going to try to take control, or Sony is going to bend over. You shouldn't look at it that way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're not looking at it that way, and I'm hoping that they ain't looking at us picking on them because we're not. I mean, the bottom line is that we just trying to make common sense out of this deal. I mean, it's a common sense. It's a business at the end of the doggone day, and I'm hoping that these Sony ponies do realize that. But some tell me that they gonna keep this stuff going on until I don't know when, and it's just unfair because at the end of the doggone day, it's all about money, and we all know that.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, like you said, Hebot, I mean, we're not trying to pick on them. We just trying to just tell them common sense, and that is what our show is all about,
It's
people.
been it's
It's not,
been about that. Yo, when
yeah,
we was on this, we always, no matter what podcast it was, we always kept it live and direct. We always kept our opinions straight up, no matter what motherfuckers, excuse my French, no matter how
Mhm.
people felt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Always keep it real.
right,
And I know
and that's
sometimes
what we
people
all
are like, "Oh,
about.
we biased." Nah, we still are the Xbox channel. You understand? Like, we do
But
show
we
PlayStation
prefer
love,
Xbox, but that's
but we
fine.
prefer Xbox. Don't
Same
get me
day
wrong,
like they
but
prefer Sony.
yeah,
It is what it is.
it is what it is, and we was one of them, and we not backing down. I'm not. I'm not. I like
You throw
PlayStation.
Apple dollars behind you.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. My
Shit.
preferred console is Xbox, but I do like PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I like Nintendo. I'm a console guy since I was a kid. I love console gaming. But I ain't gonna lie, this is a good strategy move for PlayStation, man. For
Well, I think
joint,
it's
like,
healthy. I
I
think
mean,
it's
for us,
healthy,
yes, yes, it's healthy and it keeps gaming going, bro. Because we
and I
all
think.
gamers, PC gamers, you got console gamers, you got mobile phone gamers, you got tablet
Mhm.
gamers. Man, gaming is very popular. Back in the days, it was like Sean. It wasn't even like really, really popular back in the days gaming, man. And look how far.
Well,
Look, I'm 36, and look how far when I grew up, gaming has come. Look at the
should I
graphics
wait?
now.
I wish I was able to take my gains from Sega on the go. She, that would have been cool. Without having to buy another, without
Never
having to buy
mind.
another device and shit. For us, we had to buy
Word.
portables and spend
Yeah,
$200 on them shits. And then the versions we got were inferior because obviously they weren't running off servers. It wasn't like it is now.
Yeah,
You could get a
but not like
perfect
it is
copy of
now.
what you play on at home on your device because it's running off a server, not off the hardware. You
yep.
see what I'm
That's
trying to
right.
say?
And
Which is crazy.
bot, we got a
Yeah,
comment. Stinger
yeah,
77 and Tuck,
yeah.
if I could touch up on this. He said, "Do you think Bungie is coming back home to Microsoft?"
I mean, look, I don't think Bungie's going to come back home in the sense that he's probably thinking like, or that he's trying to ask us, like, are they going to become a studio that Microsoft own again? No, I don't think so. Are they going to work with Microsoft again? Absolutely. I think they learned their lesson with the whole debacle with Destiny and Activision. I don't think they were happy in the place they were, maybe in the beginning, but when they realized, the mandates and the lack of help that they got from Activision, more than likely, that they were getting probably at Microsoft was very different. And I'm pretty sure that in the future they will have no problems working with Xbox with anything specific, maybe even exclusive. But I don't think Microsoft will buy them. I think Bungie wants to stay independent, and that's okay. That's
It's better.
fine.
They
You
better
can
off
still make exclusives with an independent developer like that. That's still fine. Just like Insomniac did with Marvel Games and Sony with Spider-Man. It still can be done.
independent.
But that's my honest opinion on it. I mean, can it happen? Anything can happen. It's possible. I mean, Bungie might be like, we want you to own us. It's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
So I won't count it and take it off the table. But I don't think that's the way it'll go down. I just think that they're going to have a form of good relationship again, and they'll probably work with them more than likely again with no problems and no hesitations. But I don't know if they'll necessarily buy them. I hope that's a good enough answer for you.
Okay. Tuck, what do you
Well, that,
think?
well, that is. I mean, you know what? He just gave it a nutshell like that to me and everything. No, I mean, if they did decide about Bungie, fine. If they don't, hey, I mean, you got to look at this, fellas. They already got half the employees from Bungie anyway. They got
Yeah,
half
yeah, that's
That's
the
true.
not three,
employees
four,
anyway.
three. You're right. I was about to say
That's
that right
true.
after you.
A lot of them
So,
are there.
Took the words right out my mouth,
so
Tuck.
if you think
Darius,
about it,
Darius, food right there, right there, right there. Darius, go get the food before they kill you. I'm sorry, guys.
so if you just think about it, do they really need a pro Bungie? No. But Bungie, Bungie got their own stuff, and I'm very sure that Bungie is going to go ahead and just keep on just working with Microsoft instead of trying to go against them and all that stuff. I mean, I think those days, though. I mean, I think just like what my boy Heba said, with all that stuff with Activision and all that stuff, and with all the hell they had to go through with that. No, I don't think they go through that no more. But if they did decide to buy him, it wouldn't be no surprise. I mean, Microsoft is buying all these studios for a reason. I mean, but I mean, if Bungie decide to go ahead and come along with it, fine. If they don't, I think it'll be a good relationship there between them two.
Yo, well, y'all hit the nail in the coffin. I'm gonna just say this. My honest opinion, I feel no. That would have been happened already. If Microsoft would have bought Bungie, they would have been did it already. And like Tuck said, 343, half of Bungie left. Bungie left and half stood. You understand? That's why we got
Yeah,
343. But that's the nail in the coffin, guys. Just said it. But I want to also touch up on a topic too, since you just said studios. It was the rumor that they might buy Crytek. What do y'all think about that? We ain't touched that up, I think, last
now
time.
I didn't.
Uh,
Hey, now I brought that up. I brought that up. I
talk
brought
to
that up in
talk
the video
first.
with new legal and them. And I said that'd be something if Crytek did do it. Are they going to do it? We don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna shine in on this. I feel like that's dope. If Microsoft does get them, we could get Crisis games. You understand?
Ooh, I forgot about that. Darn.
Mm. That's the Crisis is dope.
Yeah,
What they made Rise Son of Rome? Am I right?
Yes.
yeah,
Now we can't get a sequel of Rise Son of Rome. See, a lot of people say how Ghost he died. If you looked at it at the end, they played a trick on him. Those are gods. Boom.
Mhm.
One of the main female gods loved a character or one of the characters, a samurai dude. He ran down. If you notice, if you played the game, you know what I'm talking about. When he ran down, his own team, his own crew stepped back and let him run in the middle, and he got slaughtered. He fought it out, but he died. She punished all of them, and he got his revenge. They can also touch up on that. You understand? There's a lot of twists that they can do with Rise Son of Rome. But
yeah,
I think definitely, guys, Crytek, if they do get them, that would be a dope little studio, man. Because y'all can't lie. This game, oh man, I said it. I just said it a little while ago. Had a brain fart right now. But that game right there was a very beautiful game. Both
yeah.
Rise and
Oh man.
What was that game he bought? I said,
Crisis.
Crisis. Yes. But anyway, he bought. What do you think?
Well, there's two big benefactorial things if they do buy
If they do, I
Crytek.
know it's a rumor.
Okay, if they do, right? Which nobody has denied it or actually uh, confirmed it. So right now it's up in the air. It's looking like it's a possibility with IO Interactive, the people, the Hitman, and another studio. For me, if they buy them as a personal preference for me, I would really be happy for the fact that that means we can potentially get a second game for Rise, a Rise Sun and Rome 2, and expand the series that has a lot of potential to grow and get better the same way that they have felt that God of War has, because that's basically would be our God of War, and they could definitely go in a more mythical and magical and fantastical world because Marius did die. He did die, and the gods were playing a game the whole time. It's no spoiler alerts for whoever hasn't played it at this point. You're probably never going to play it, so I don't mean to give you the spoilers, but he did die. But that doesn't mean they can't bring him back with powers. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
True.
Because they
True.
very well can. So for me, that's the biggest and most uh, appeal for me personally, as a fan of Crisis and a fan of Rise. That means that would cement that Rise 2 would definitely be at the table and would not cannot be counted out because now we own the company that made it, right? Which is what that was rumored a couple years back, or in the beginning of the generation after Rise came out, that Microsoft, I think this was Ryan McCaffrey, Shaggy, the guy you call Shaggy,
Yeah.
had said himself that Microsoft had made Crytek offer to buy the Rise IP because they wanted to make another one. But I guess Crisis, Crytek did not want to sell. They were like, no, so, and they didn't want to be bought at the time either, and so they didn't. So I'm assuming is because Microsoft also felt the same way we're talking, that they have the potential to be great and make Rise a big, formidable franchise. That's number one. Number two, everybody got to remember that Crytek always makes the most technically advanced graphic engines
You ain't
in
never lying.
every single generation. And just recently, in I think it was PAX or one of the the VGA show, one of those electronic shows, they showed off their new engine running ray tracing, and it looks absolutely incredible. It's spectacular. It looks
Wow.
unbelievably real. And if that's the case, that means Microsoft will have full ownership of the Crytek engine with them. So that means they can also rent it out to other people, other developers, and make money off of that as well. And that means we will have prettier and more realistic and lavishly looking video games. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Especially with that ray tracing tech that they have implemented in their new Crytek Engine 2, I think it is, or it could be 3. Um, you got to go out there and look at it. It's a demo. You just type up Google, look up Crytek Engine demo for 2019, and you'll see it. It'll
Woo.
pop up.
Y'all hear that,
Yeah.
guys?
So
Crytek engine. Heba just told y'all. Look that up. I'm gonna look
mhm.
that up in a little while after the show, and definitely y'all. Go ahead, Heba.
so for me, those are the two biggest reasons in which me myself, my personal thoughts and opinion, why I would be ecstatic if Microsoft buys somebody like like Crytek, because a lot of people gonna be like, oh well, they make pretty games, but their games don't have substance. That's not true at all, because their game
No.
they may not have a lot of variety in style or gameplay compared to others, but they definitely have good quality games, like in the Crisis and Rise series. And it's the same could have been said for Guerrilla Games with their game Killzone. They made Killzone for what, almost 15 years, and they were never well received like they did now with the success of you know of Horizon Zero Dawn. You see what I'm saying? So now that they have their one hit wonder or they're hit, right? Now people are giving them the respect. Now people are giving them the benefit of the doubt. And I think that's the whole mentality that we should drive forward with the idea of crisis or Crytek working with Microsoft, being a studio owned by Microsoft, where they can give them more money to create bigger teams with bigger studios and equipment and technology to make AAA or even quadruple A quality games. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Crytek, you all know, they've been on the verge of going bankrupt and not existing anymore in the industry and closing down as a studio for over 3 years now. And
Yeah,
as a
for the
matter of
last
fact,
couple of years. Yeah.
right, and as a matter of fact, I think their country, because I think they're European. Yeah, they're German, right, or whatever.
Yeah, they're
They're from
German
Europe.
company.
Their country took out a loan and gave it to them to help them keep their doors open, and they
Wow.
did it twice, 2 times, because they represent that part of their country, and because they know it's their pride that they have a good developer out there with some type of moniker representing the country. So they help them by giving them loans to keep their door open. And and you always hear ramblings every once in a while. Well, Crytek and The Verge in danger of being closed down. They let people go. So I would rather them stay by being protected by a company like Microsoft, obviously, that has money, that can give them better studios, better equipment, and more people, so that you can see the full potential of Crytek, in my opinion, because I think they have a multitude amounts of space to grow as a developer, and they could be the kings of not only making fantastic graphic engines, but also top quality, top tier notched games where they could be respected. Even though me as a fan of them, I feel that their Crisis series and Rise are very good games and very underrated and underappreciated. They're not garbage like people try to allude to them to be. They may not be everybody's favorite, but I don't think they're straight out trash like the term that people like to use. People seem to say they're not. They have a lot of potential and they showed it. So I really would want Microsoft to buy them for those two reasons, and also to save them so that they don't go on the wayside and have to close down like a lot of other studios had to do right from the very beginning of this generation and even the ending of last generation, because games didn't sell. They're getting more expensive to make, and people lose their jobs because if they don't make money selling their games, then they have no choice but to close down. You see what I'm saying? So for me, those three aspects and elements are the most important reason why I definitely want Microsoft to buy Crytek. Even somebody like the guys who made Hitman, IO Interactive, because they could potentially be better and better. When not, because I think their graphics and stuff that they do in gameplay are good, but I think they need to make their games a little more exciting because they're a little bit kind of slow pace and stale and boring to a sense.
Yeah.
I think if they can make their games more exciting with the graphical capabilities and gameplay capabilities and experience that they have, they can also have a potential to be a powerhouse developer in the gaming industry.
You
Eh, it's a lot of good things, man. I
know,
mean, people are not going to see what we're seeing or how we're seeing it probably and agree, but hopefully with what we're saying now here in the podcast and the messaging that we're giving from all of us, they can see where we're coming from. Like, damn, these dudes really actually care about the situation. They're not just trying to be fanboys.
yeah, we they try to label us fanboys, but I'm
And
just
that's
saying,
fine.
for Sony fanboys really out there that was saying that Zero Cloud was trash. I think they
They
got
said
to
it was
calm
fake.
down.
They were saying that it was fake.
They
Yeah.
got to eat that crow, man. But
And,
I heard that they wasn't yapping the gibbets, man, on Twitter.
oh, Twitter's been on fire all day, dude.
I heard.
It's the
Oh,
most
they've been
top
real
trending
quiet
thing.
thing, man.
Even I think on like Google and even Bing, like the search, that's the hottest topic right now. It's on fire. That's all they're talking about. That Microsoft and Sony collaboration, because this changes everything, dude.
Yes.
This basically ends console wars from the very big people, from the two joint uh, essence that we've been in entities in gaming, which is the Sony and Xbox, we the two biggest. Obviously, Nintendo's obviously the top player also, but they're not looked at as the same level as Xbox and PlayStation because they have a lot more futuristic technology and games that they give us compared to Nintendo. Nintendo is more like a family type company and more for kids, but still one of the top dogs. Nobody's gonna fuck with them in the portable market space. Nobody, not even Microsoft, and they know that. So it's good because they all have their own place. You know, they all of them have their own place within the industry, but them helping each other, bro, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. There's no way people are just going to try to stand up to them without being like, "Yo, how are we going to do this?" Because now they're playing ball in the same field. You know what I mean? And that could be dangerous, very dangerous. On top of being beneficial for all of us, the gamers, you know. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think people need to look at this with a mature, open eye, open minded type of mentality, and realize this is going to be a good sign, even for consoles. Because even the PC space is not going to be able to touch the console space. For consoles generally and specifically, starting next generation.
All right, Hebot. So think
Yeah.
about this. Do you think PlayStation is gonna put their games on Xbox servers?
No, no, I don't think that's
Sure.
not it at all. No, no, I don't think that's it because he put think of it this way, Ghost and Tuck,
Because if they
and
use it,
whoever's watching, if you're gonna have all Xbox games on PlayStation and vice versa, and let's say Nintendo, then what would be the point to have a console from PlayStation, a console from Xbox, or a console from Nintendo? That means they don't have their own identity. They all became software companies. So all they're doing is make one console that's universal, and everybody buys that console, and they just put their games, and you support their games, and that's how they make their money. You buy Xbox games that you like, you buy
Right.
PlayStation games that you like, you buy Nintendo games that you like. No, I don't think that's gonna happen at all. I think the idea is just
I mean,
basically,
the only thing that they using is the only thing they using is Xbox servers.
well, the Azure
It's not.
service, which is
It's,
they
still
can
help them.
they could put games on there. Who knows? What if that
Well,
was to happen?
look,
If
no
what if
ghost.
I don't
what
think
if
I
that.
think
certain let's just
they
say
can. They look.
what if certain
I know what you're
PlayStation
saying.
games get on Xbox and Xbox don't get PlayStation games? So
Well, I
Xbox put their
know
games on PlayStation.
I know what you're saying, but I
I'm
don't
just
think
saying.
like I don't know why people think that Microsoft will be quickly to put a game on Xbox on PlayStation, but they won't get it from PlayStation. Look, the Cuphead game went to Switch because Cuphead is not owned by Microsoft.
Is it on Switch now?
It's owned by making games, right?
Hmm.
What Microsoft owned was the exclusivity to Cuphead on consoles, right?
Yeah.
But Microsoft don't look at the Switch as a console. They look at it as a portable. It's kind of like when they put Viva Pinata on the DS. It was their console exclusive on portable. You had to get a Nintendo DS. You see what I'm trying to say? And plus, it's a game that makes sense on a portable console like the Switch. You see
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? So they figured they can make more money. And remember, it builds bridges, meaning this relationships get stronger. And now, let's think about this real quick, guys. Hypothetical. Third party exclusives that Nintendo had for quite a long time that we never seen for a while,
Yeah.
like Bayonetta 2, right? To
Uh-huh.
give you an example, like Bayonetta 2, or something like Devil's Third, right? That's only been on the Switch, I mean, on the Wii and the Wii U. These games could potentially now come to Xbox because they have that relationship and they can have a broader audience because Microsoft is allowed them to have games that they have that were third party. Now they can have games that they had that were third party. We're talking about third party, meaning they're not owned or made by first party studios owned by those designated companies, meaning not developers that are owned by Nintendo or not developers owned by Microsoft, third party, meaning there's a second person that's the developer, and all they did was help them either pay for the making of the game, the development, or to publish the game. Okay, let's get it right in the messaging. Third party exclusives can be shared, especially if it's been all this time on Nintendo timed. Now it could be on Xbox, for example. Or let's say if Sony jumps in on it, it could be on Sony's console, which is good for those games and those third party
Mm.
developers.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
But we got
Yeah.
more. We got two questions. Really, I think one on the comment
Yeah.
section.
Yeah,
But
sure.
first and foremost, Shout outs to Triple Cup Chuck, Comics and Games. Y'all need to check his podcast.
Oh yeah,
He's on right now.
heroic
Yep.
vibrations. That's right.
Yeah, his podcast right now. He just showed up on the comment section saying, "What's up, guys?"
Nice,
All right,
nice.
we got a question from
That's
Phase
family right there.
114. He says, "I think this deal will help
Nice.
with cross progression in games. This
That's
is what
right.
gaming really needs." Now,
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
he said, "At Ghost Rider, do you think we can see cross progression in games now that Sony and
Yeah.
Microsoft is playing nice?" Whoa, my man,
I
he
think.
probably just touching up on certain things like
Well,
that.
hey,
Go ahead,
I,
Chuck.
I feel.
hey, I'm playing this to y'all.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna play this to you. I'm sorry about interrupting right quick.
Nah, don't
I'm
even
gonna
worry.
play
No,
this to you,
no.
y'all.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You're not
Let
interrupting.
me ask you this: when's the last time you seen this many games come out in the early part of the season? I never seen that many games come out in the early part of the season. So is
Right.
that making it better for like all these studios that Microsoft is progressing to get now? They
Listen,
can make their own games. They can make better games. They can turn around and have our developers keep their doors open too. I mean, that's what
yes,
it's all about. Keeping these people's doors
I,
open. I mean, there were
yes.
so many Douglas studios that closed before. I mean, when the
Well,
Xbox
Chuck.
I,
One and the PS4 came
I
out.
see it like this. I
I
see it like
mean,
this. You right, and I see it like this. A lot of studios that Microsoft acquired, they're gonna make games for them. So starting from
Mhm.
now in the future, you see how you go through January, February, March, April, May. You know how it gets a little slow in the
yeah,
summer, and it gets all that. Then it starts speeding up with the multi-plats. We get an exclusive here and there. I think what Microsoft is doing is once the studios start kicking out the games, they're gonna start putting them in maybe in February, July. We might get certain kind of games. You know, they're gonna keep it gaming, 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 and as a gamer, we need this. This is what gamers love.
well, you know,
I like going out, going to the mom and pop store or GameStop, and I usually go in there just to look to see if something new came out. You understand?
Right. Right.
That's what I enjoy.
I mean,
That's my hobby. This is a hobby to me. This right
Hmm.
now, the
I mean,
character
but you
Ghost
look,
Rider is a character on YouTube. You understand? Hebot is Hebot. I met him personally. That's my brother from another mother. That's my boy. But at the end of the day,
but look at it,
we are all
look at it,
gamers,
Ghost
bro.
Rider, Ghost
Right.
Rider.
And
Right.
But look at it.
more
Look
games,
what's
the
going on
better,
now,
bro.
Ghost Rider. But look what's going on now. I mean, hey, I never seen something mean like I said January. We
Yeah.
ain't even having a drought for games. February is still going on.
Hey, third party games
March,
is great,
April,
bro.
May is crazy.
Well,
So I mean, hey, it's already starting to begin. I mean, that's what people talked about. People talked about that last year, saying why are these developers coming out with more games in the early part of the season? Then they want to wait until the last end of the season. Then they want to bring out the heavy
I
hitters.
think towards
And
June, July, it usually slows down.
I've never seen that
well,
like it.
I want to.
But it's good.
I,
It's good for sales. I
I,
always
It
said
is
why they
good.
don't bring out games in July, June, and certain time. They, cause you know, it's the summertime. A lot of people's out, which I
yeah.
know a lot. This is what a lot they fail to realize. There is money out there to make in the summertime
Oh, if you bring the games and they're good, the people
because
buy them. It don't matter what
people,
season it is.
exactly people
Right.
That's a
want to
fact.
stay
Yeah, people gonna buy.
upstairs. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. You got people that like rolling their blunts, relaxing, staying under the AC, chilling out, playing games, watching Netflix. It's not
Or
about
even
being
when,
outside all the time like that.
or even when they come out from hanging out, let's say in the beach all
Yeah,
day with the family, they come home, they want to rock out.
they want
That's
to rock out and
people
relax.
game, man. The
Yeah,
gaming is like Netflix. It's like you want when you want to play, you're gonna play. When you want to watch a movie, you're gonna watch a movie. But I want to answer the question of the guy that you said
go ahead.
was on the
Phase,
comments.
phase 114.
Yeah, oh, that's Phase Ricardo. Yeah, here's the thing. This is going to move gaming forward to answer Phase, right? In the sense that now Nintendo, we all know, has no online structure, right? Or the one that they have is very primitive and very it's in its infancy. With Microsoft helping them, pushing them, now they don't have to worry about investing years and years and years of R&D and money to get it to that point to compete with Microsoft. Microsoft
True,
is going to
true.
help them, and then they can keep the same style of infrastructure, the same style, but using the tech of the ease of process that Microsoft has for all these years obtained by doing all those years of research and search and development for online to make it better and better. Now this gives it a big shortcut and a leeway to Nintendo and also Sony. Now Sony can actually have PSN now working at a higher level, at a more quality higher level, and even if when they put games in their in their service like that are multiplats, like on PSN now, like when they put their multiplat games, those games will work even better. So for those developers out there that are third party that want to put in their games in there so that it can continue to have a breath and life and people will go and play them that necessarily wouldn't go out to buy it on day one because they weren't sure if it was worth their money or because they weren't safe with what they saw. This will let them build that relationship with that fan base on PlayStation side, for example, to play the games and they'll sell more games at the end of the day. So it's going to help their structure with PSN now, with this the online ecosystem, maybe better online connection, maybe even dedicated servers, security, second step authentication, all kinds of things can happen. You know what I'm saying? In the future, this is like just the beginning. This can open the door for so many. The sky's the limit right now with this type of partnership and this type of agreement. It just shows that gaming as a whole in the industry is maturing. It's not staying stagnant. It's not staying outdated. It's just maturing. It's becoming a more mature medium, right? And yes, a lot of people are doubters. They're gonna be speculating. They're gonna have their doubts, and they're gonna think, "Oh, this is terrible. This means it's gonna be all digital." No, all digital will never. Digital will be the dominant force going into the future, but it will never be an all digital world because the cable companies and networks do not want to cooperate. They don't want to give you bigger data caps. They don't want to give you better online structures or better resolutions like in 4K or 8K. That will be the future for gaming because they want to give you less and charge you more, if you know what I mean. They don't want to cooperate. And none of the video game companies could control the online providers, like the cable providers. They're never going to concede because those guys are all just corporate, greedy money mongers. All right. So the only way that they can win is by creating an infrastructure within the gaming industry that benefits the gamers with ease of access and accessibility without having to worry about the cable providers. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Or kind of superseding the cable providers. That's why I said that physical will still be there. This is just an option for all game and gamers alike, right? Can all be happy within their space. People that like physical, buy physical. People that only like digital, buy digital. People that like both will buy both. You see what I'm saying? This is not trying to take away from you or your rights or your licensing rights. This is just trying to give you options as the type of gamer and style of gamer that you are, how you like to collect and how you like to buy your set games. You know what I mean? Just like Game Pass. Game Pass is there so that you can try all those games without having to be worrying about buying the game full price, and then you go play it and you don't like it. You think the game is horrendous, and now you can't return it and get your money back. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. That's why
So
Game Pass is there.
I think Game Pass is a success.
Oh yeah, Game
Like
Pass is
saying,
a
oh,
wonderful
I'm
option.
not saying it's like the best thing since sliced bread, but if it's a rented service, if it's a look, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. Sometimes they put Game Pass for $1, and it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
You get
Yeah.
a lot of you get a lot of different type of games. You get
Well, the games
exclusive
don't stay
games.
there all the time either. You saw they just lost 17 games. And so people be like, oh, yeah, I could always play that on Game Pass. I don't need to buy it. That's a lie because now if you want a certain game and it's coming out, you'll go buy it because you like it. So you want to have ownership. And the only way you're going to have access is by buying it because if you don't, then you can't access it. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's a win-win for everybody. It's like the all digital console. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, but that's just garbage. But listen, remember, there's a lot of parents that buy games for their kids, and they cannot stand when their kids fuck up those CDs. They mess them up. They scratch the shit out of them. They don't work no more after they spend $50, $60 with that game, with that all digital. Like, nah, brother, you ain't scratching shit no more. You getting your shit digital.
Listen,
You
yep,
see what I'm saying?
I see it
That's
as this.
another option.
They crucified Microsoft for doing that in the beginning of
Yeah,
the
yeah. It's
generation.
just the price. The price of it is kind of still
But
steep, but at the same time, I understand why.
I,
Because
I,
it's still the same silicone. It's still, mira,
I feel
it's
like
still the same
by
silicone.
this streaming console that they got coming out,
Hmm.
I feel like it might sell good, but they need to bundle it with Game Pass because there's a lot of parents out there that can't afford these type of games that their kids want. Not everybody's
Hmm.
rich. Not everybody got a job. You understand?
Hmm.
And sometimes people are kind of poor, and you got families that can't afford it, and you got
Mothers that are single mothers.
single
Yeah.
mothers, and the kids, ask the moms and them for these type of games that are $60 and all that, and Game Pass for
ten
$1,
dollars for
$10
a dollar, $10, $5 a month.
a month.
Have access
You can't
to
beat
over
that.
two, three
Now
hundred
you
games.
exactly now your kids can play these
Forgiven.
type of games, have fun with their friends.
And they don't have to feel like they're losing money. Like if let's
Exactly.
say, like if they damage the disc, oh my God, you just ruined that. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a
Yep.
safe bet, is what it is. And that all day, all digital console, it's not for guys like me, you, Tuck, like 100 or E Rock. It's not for us. We're the hardcore gamers. We like ownership. We like buying our games. It's not for us. That's designed for the everyday casual people that want to play games, and when their kids like games and they want to, give them what they need or want, and it's a very good viable option. It's super consumer friendly. It's like beyond friendly. You know what I mean? Because even though if it comes with 3 months of Game Pass and you're buying it for, let's say, 250, that's 3 months of, you don't have to worry about your son buying him anything, and he could play over 200 or 300 games that are on that pass. That's not for us to substitute what we like or what we have, because when we buy it, at the end of the day, even if it's on Game Pass and they pull it out, once they pull it out, we still have the ownership of the games. We don't got to worry about not ever owning the game because we bought it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hello?
I understand you.
You
Hey,
know what I'm
Tuck.
saying?
Tuck. Oh, Tuck ain't
Are
there.
you there, Tuck?
He ain't there. He's probably out, but he'll be back. But yeah, he bought like the
Hmm.
future of gaming is changing, bro. And
Yeah, yeah, for
and
sure,
I
for sure.
and like we was talking about a little earlier, he about like, dang, bro, you a little older than me, and
Hmm.
the way I look at it now, and I try to tell my son like that before. I had seen my father into gaming like with Atari and stuff like that, and I seen
Hmm.
how it came a long way with Pac Man, Mrs. Pac Man, Centipede, Millipede,
Hmm.
Galaga. You know, it was games like that that got me into wanting to play games because, and those games are not graphically the greatest games ever. Like,
Right.
and then I got my Nintendo, I got the Sega and Sega Master System, like the Genesis and all that. I started gradually going into my video games, and yo, bro, like I told my son, look at the games we played back then
Yeah.
to the games nowadays. Y'all spoiled. You're getting all the good stuff. Like it's crazy. Like, oh man, you see God of War how that looks. You see how Gears of War look.
Yeah,
Like,
man. The
we had
way
that back in
gaming has
the day.
come, dude. Gaming has
Yeah.
come such a long way. It's just ridiculous, my dude.
Yo, think
Games
about
look like fucking. They look like real life movies. It's got so technically advanced.
it.
You
Yeah.
know.
The
But
Call of Duties, the Halos, the Gears,
hmm.
yeah, all these shooters. Look, I ain't even gonna lie. Star Wars, that game is dope.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
online that is dope, man. I'm like, wow, you could,
yeah.
you play as Yoda, you as Darth Vader, the Sith. You going. A lot of people don't enjoy these games and see it for the bigger picture.
Well, they take it for granted. They don't realize the
Oh, it didn't
blessing that
sell
they have.
well.
Right,
Exactly.
right, right, right. Well,
Now, what
look.
are y'all talking
But
about now,
remember, I'm
fellas?
old school. Remember, I'm from that era. As your dad, may he rest in peace
Oh,
wherever he is.
thank you, man.
I'm from that era. Okay, and for me,
Hey,
it's
fellas,
hard as it's
what
hard
are
as
y'all talking about
hell.
now?
Well, Ghost brought up the topic of how the advancements of games has come so long and so far
Yep.
away that gaming is going to change even more, and we're going to have to learn how to accept it. And that's a hard acceptance because our minds and our what you call our habits of gaming are already set a certain way for so long. You know what I mean? So that's what Ghost Rider is basically alluding with the question that he brought up. So I was trying to answer him, telling him that somebody like me, that I came from the era of like his dad, and like I said, may he rest in peace because he did pass away. For those of you that don't know, that Ghost dad passed away a couple years ago, not too long ago.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you, Hebo.
he no, for sure, for sure. We grew up in that era where it was just you bought the games, and if you had to play those games, you had to buy multiple consoles, and you had to buy multiple games on each console, and you couldn't afford it. So what we would do is we would steal some shits. We would try to jerk our friends, or for to trade
Yeah.
ups for a corny game for a good game, or we would try to lend it to each other, and then you could borrow my console for like 2 weeks, and I borrow yours, but if you break my shit, I'm keeping your shit. That's what we used to say.
What?
That's
Right.
how it was.
Yeah,
But that's how we were.
you
But
brought
that's how
back
we were.
memories.
But that's how we were able to play. The Genesis, the Master System, the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Turbo Graphics. That's how we were able to play them, because that's how it was for us. We didn't have GameFly. We didn't have Game Pass. We didn't have GameStop where you
None of
could
that stuff.
return your shit and get your money back within 7 days. We didn't have Blockbuster Video renting out games at that point. We didn't have Redbox. Yeah, let's Redbox this game for $2. Bring it back the next day or in 5 days. We didn't have those options. We bought a
Or
booty
you
ass
don't
game.
get back at all.
Well, if we bought a booty ass game, or our parents bought that booty ass game, we were stuck with it. And if we told them that we didn't like it, they beat the shit out of us with the game for making them buy it. That's how it was. Like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you made me buy this shit. Now you don't like it? Get the fuck out. You playing that shit. So we would have to play all them corny shits with the good shit.
Yo,
That's how it was.
do you
So we
remember?
learned to appreciate it.
Hell yeah, to appreciate it. Do you remember
Hmm.
when you get that game and you pop it in the Nintendo, the NES,
Hmm.
and you push it down, and you go,
Hmm.
it's not working. You had to pull that bad boy out and be like this.
Yeah, you had to blow on it. Yeah, you had to take
Yeah.
Q-tips with alcohol and
Yo,
clean
your
it
cheeks
off.
be hurting, son. And you're like,
Another
yo.
trick,
Sometimes you
another
have to
trick that
and
worked too
play
was you
I
would
don't
put
mean
another cartridge on top of it. You know how you would slide the tray down and it would
yeah.
click? In order for it to click and read, you would have to put another cartridge on top of it so that the
All right.
weight would let it read it correctly.
Or we used to use
Or if you had,
like the
or if you had
matching
a
system.
Atari 2600, take a cardboard box and slip it into the doggone slot.
Exactly. Stuff
Yeah,
like
And
that.
make
And hold it
it,
down.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
pray that nobody gets too close or bumps into something.
Yeah, well, especially when you
yeah.
would far as hell in the game, because we
Hell
didn't
yeah.
have that shit either about saving checkpoints all the time. We had to do
Yep.
passwords. We had to take a
Hey,
piece of paper and write passwords every time we passed.
Exactly.
That
I
shit was
left.
hey,
serious.
I want to comment. I want to comment on what y'all was talking about. The thing with the digital and all that stuff,
All
with the
right.
digital
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
and
go ahead, brother.
all that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna compliment on that and on again. Let me tell you right now. I went to Best Buy the other doggone day, and let
Yeah.
me tell you what's gonna happen. They doing a lot of digital. They doing a lot of digital things now, man. They are slowly getting out of the disc. Slowly getting out of the disc.
Mm.
I ain't say it all the way, but I tell you right now, if if these industries ever start learning how where you can trade off of a digital game, where you can trade a digital game digitally,
Mhm.
it's over for disc. It's
Well,
over.
that would be a big plus too, because you could trade it in, but you could only do that with physical copies, even if you get less money. But it's an option. At least you don't have to pay full price for another game. That definitely is an
Well,
option. But one more thing before you move forward, Tuck. The only thing that would save, or not save, that would make digital be the all-in, be-all, where everybody just accept it, is if you have the rights to more database and a faster internet speed at all times, where you don't have to, at a good price, where you don't have to worry about if your internet is not fast enough to run the game, or to have the download, or you don't have to worry about it not, the licensing not popping up because the licensing expired and now you don't have the rights to it. That is the only way that the future will be all digital. That all those things would be controlled, right? Where once you get a game, no matter what console you're on, how long ago you bought it, doesn't matter. It's yours at all times. Uh,
right.
or the licensing wouldn't matter either, would not reflect or affect, or which right now technically that's been like that with Xbox 360 games because I own many games and so do my son that are no longer in the 360 store. Like for example, Voltron or something like the Warriors, right? That's not there that we own, but because we had it under our gamer tag with the password, we can still access it and play it whenever we want because it's ours. You know what I mean? The only thing tricky about that is making sure that you have it downloaded when you need it. So if there's like a bad storm or the internet cuts off or you couldn't pay it 1 month or 2 months, that you can still have it in your hard drive so that you can play it offline. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that also becomes a nuisance that you have to keep kind of a tally on, like keep your eye on. So you keep the games you play the most always online installed, and the ones that you want to play next on ready to install to kind of balance it out. You know what I mean? But that's the only way that the disc will be vanished forever. But me, honestly, I don't think it'll ever happen because people just love physical medium. It's the best way to play games, period. But at the same time, remember, there's been years of Blu-rays and now 4Ks, and people still buying DVDs because they still make DVDs for all movies because
Yeah,
people buy just DVD. They don't really care about high def. Not everybody cares about it, and so that's why I think there'll always be room for both. But I would honestly say that probably 10 years from now, 75% of the market will be completely digital. I think so. I really believe that
Well,
would be the
well,
case.
hey, I mean, 85%
Maybe 80.
is already digital already.
Yeah, well, Microsoft said 57% of their game sales last year was all digital, and the other
Yeah,
40,
I mean,
47, 46 was physical. But they said digital was 57%. So you're probably
but
right.
you, but you know what? You might as well say it's digital already because you can't play the game. You just can't pop the game in and play it. You still got to download to your system.
Well, if you have
So
it in
you might. I
offline, you
mean,
can play it, but you won't get the updates. You won't get whatever else new thing they added online. You can still play it as long as you're offline, unless it's a game
right,
that's always online. That's why those games are
right.
hard to buy, especially physical. Even digital, they're hard to buy because if they ever turn off those servers for any of those games, guess what? You'll never be able to access and play them ever again. That's another
That's
bad
true.
thing. That's why that always online shit is bad. You want digital for the future. You're gonna want have access to the games, whether you're online or whether you're offline. That's what everybody should
Well,
be hoping for. All the gamers.
well,
You know what I mean?
if you think about it, if you just think about it, I mean, so you shut your system off. I mean, I'm always online anyway.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, for example, Tuck, Anthem, right? Anthem is a
Right,
game that you could only play online, right? If let's say
right.
EA says, well, we're shutting off the servers of Anthem, we're not making a
Well,
sequel,
they do that,
we're not
and
gonna
then
make
too about that.
any more stuff. You will never be able to access the game, even though you paid $65 for that game.
because it's always
You see
Well,
online.
what
that's
I'm
what
trying
I'm
to say?
saying. But that's all upon them, though.
Right, but
That's all
that's
upon
why
them.
we as the
Yeah,
gamers,
yeah,
we
but
don't want that. So
I
you see
understand
what I'm
where he's
saying?
coming. I understand where Hebot's coming from. So that means that they do shut down the servers and everything. Since it's an
Yes.
online game, you
It'll be like
cannot
the game
play.
never existed, like it doesn't exist
Exactly.
anymore,
You
like
just
it
got
disappeared.
basically
Well,
you just got that game. Look, you just got the screen of it. You can't get
That's
in on
why
it.
us as gamers, we don't want
You got to be smarter
always
than that.
always online games. We want digital, but
I
that we
agree with
have
that.
but that we have the access to it, whether it's online or whether it's offline. You see what I'm trying to say, Tuck? That's what we want
Right.
to
Oh
aim
yeah, yeah. I
for.
understand
For
that. I
all
understand that.
games to be offline and online. Because if we don't, that can hurt us big time in the future. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand that.
I agree because I want my
I agree with
games.
that. I'm not
I
about
don't want
that.
somebody to close down the servers and then when I go to access the game, I cannot play it. That means I
Yeah,
got screwed over
it's
for like
terrible.
$65. Or sometimes these
Hmm.
games, guys, these games are getting very expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Sometimes
coming
80,
out
100.
$80, 100,
Mm-hmm.
$120 for the better version, or and when you get it, you get one more skin or something. or extra character thing, you're like, damn, I just spent like $130, $120. Like, I don't
Yep,
understand that. That's
that's
getting a
right.
little too ridiculous, and people need to open up their eyes with all of this, because if we keep going on and everybody going on with this, it's only going to get more expensive.
Right, right.
We
Hmm.
need to keep it at a minimum. Like, nah, $65 is great. Not where it's $80 to $100, and they come out and they give you something like a lighter size, talking about this is what you get exclusive with it. Like, nah, man. I ain't with that, man. 65 is
Well,
great.
that's the reason why I don't. That's the reason why I don't buy no game. I mean, I'm not buying no game, no extra content. I mean, if I want to go ahead and buy it, I buy the extra content. But I'm not gonna. I mean, if there's a game that I want to buy, I'm not gonna buy no game for no $79 for no $100. Nah, forget that.
Nah,
I just
Right,
pay
right.
for the game and that's it.
but they
Because
open
that is a
it.
risk that you're taking because you don't know. Because the thing, but you think about it, that's a risk that you're taking when you buy a game for that much. You might get digital content, might be get a little digital content and all that stuff. But is it
Hmm.
gonna be really worth it? Some of it is, some of it's not. Like he buy. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're
now
right. You're right, Tuck. There's a lot of
like
that
like
extra
like he
content they
buy.
offer that's not worth it. Right. You're right.
No, no. I mean, he buy. It's like the toys that you get from like I mean like what that game like that samurai game that you bought.
Oh, the
That was
statue.
worth it right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
statue.
Yeah, yeah. You talking about
Something like that I
Sekiro?
like because but if I'm gonna go out there and buy a game and there's no statue, nothing like that involved, no, no. I mean, if there's like a book,
Well,
if
Division. The
there's like a
Division had a
statue
really,
involved, yeah, I
really
like that.
Tuck. The Division 2 had a really, really nice they called it the Phoenix something edition. Phoenix Shield, I think it was called. The Phoenix Shield collect for Division 2. And that one was a really nice collector's edition. And it was like only like I think if you pre-ordered it on GameStop, it's like 150, maybe 180. But
But
here's
what did it
here's
come with?
well, it came with number one, it came with the game, a steel book, all access to the entire DLCs that were going to come out, except for I think two of them or something that wasn't announced yet. It had the soundtrack, and it came with like a map. It came with oof, some like I think like an art book, and it also came with a what we call in the figure industry or what is in the figure industry a hot toys type figure, meaning it's a figure that has real clothing, that has a realistic look, like almost like a wax figure of like an actor that you see in the wax museum. It has a hyper realistic, with a lot of quality, a lot of different articulation, movable parts, movable weapons of one of the main characters from the game. And it came with the standard. And those hot toy figures usually go from $199 to up to $700. And it came
See,
with the game. It came with the game.
that's what I'm
So
talking
for
about. See,
me
something like
alone,
that. But
yeah, it's
see, but
worth
something
it.
like that, I would love.
Yeah, it's
Something
worth
like
it.
that, I would love. No, but all the other stuff, man, just give me a regular game and that's it.
Right, right. I know what you're saying. You're talking about like the dumb, stupid stuff, like they did with the Han Solo gun. That it was like you paid, I think it was $20 extra to get a Han Solo gun in Battlefront One. I think that's what it was, right? Something like that. It was some
Right.
stupid DLC shit that should have never been. I know exactly what you're
No.
talking about, Tuck. And I'm pretty
Yeah, but
sure.
it can stuff like that, man. I ain't buying that crap.
Right, right. And I'm
But
pretty sure anybody that's listening or that'll hear the podcast later will agree with us on that point. That's stupid. That's just feels like that almost feels like the microtransactions that when you're buying cosmetic stuff that just to have a different costume, like things like that, and they
right,
overcharge. They charge you
I
like
hate that.
$10.
I hate that. No,
Those are
but
stupid DLC stuff that they
no,
should.
let me tell you, transactions and they, just put it Fortnite, bruh. They make you
Hmm.
spend so much money on that, 20 something
Hmm.
dollars just for one skin. You don't
Right,
even
right.
get you don't even get that let's just say the hatchet or the glider.
The weapons and
You got to
stuff. Right.
pay for that too. So when you really look at it, you spending guap, bro. They
Yeah,
catching you for
yeah.
for for free. Oh yeah, it's a free game. Oh
Then
no,
you had to
but
pay $27 for a skin in Fortnite.
oh, they go,
check it out,
hey,
babe.
they gonna make their money. They gonna make their money back, y'all. You know they are.
Jesus
You know,
How much?
Christ,
How much was the skins in Fortnite?
that's crazy.
The
That's
for,
fucking crazy.
you gotta buy coins, but how much is the coins? $10 and up, right?
Look at that.
So now
Yeah.
look,
Wow.
when ten
Well,
dollars and up. So now when you do it, you got to pay the 24. The 24 to $25.
yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
$10 and up. So basically, you got to spend $25 on coins. Now, when you
yeah,
do the
yeah.
math on that, you're buying what they only give you one skin, right? You don't even get the glider or nothing, right? You got to pay for the glider. So basically,
Right.
you got to spend bread. So it's like and that's for every suit, everything that they come out with. So if you're trying to get
Well,
that, not including the $25 for the season thing, where they upgrade you to like 20 something, 25 slots, and you get a
mhm.
little dance or a little
That's
something.
crazy.
Yeah, but that's raping you. That's double raping you.
Yeah,
Get
that's
it?
why they're making
So
that
now,
bank. All those
what?
kids
That's how
be
they
buying
make it.
them shits.
All the kids, exactly. It's called raping
Wow.
you records, bro. Forget
Yo, dude.
about it.
Well, it's like Killer Instinct. I remember when they did that for the first time with Killer Instinct. Everybody was like, "Oh, that's bullshit. That's not cool." When in reality, once you bought the full game, they gave you access to everything that's there, and you just basically played and grind for it. But they didn't overdo it. Like you didn't have to play 100 matches just to get one skin. You get what I'm saying? It's actually very easy. Like you play a few matches, and if you do a certain amount of combos and win, boom, you get your skin. You know what I'm trying to say? And they give you access to all the stuff and content pretty easy, which is basically very player friendly. Um, for the ones that could play all the time and the ones that have all the time in the world stay there hours upon hours. That's when they do it where it's done right. But for those that maybe don't have the time, they still gave you the option where you can actually go in and buy it. I think one costume costs like $1.99 or $1.50. Like they're reasonable price. They're not like crazy prices. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think when they do it that way, that's when people in the community and gaming could accept it. They don't get offended by it. They don't get mad because they see that it's not them being greedy and just trying to steal your money. But $27 or $10 for a damn costume, that's
Yeah,
some crazy shit.
it
That's just
That's
is.
sound
ridiculous. I mean,
reckless.
that's ridiculous. That
That's
really
just
is
sound
ridiculous.
reckless. That's
And
just sound crazy.
I ain't gonna lie. I am a victim.
Wow.
You wanna know why? Because I
They're
got
not
a
Because
in.
couple
like,
suits myself and my
you know,
wife
because you take like,
and my son.
Oh, okay.
cause you take
Damn.
like Red Dead, for
I
instance,
spent bread, man.
online.
My wife also spent bread.
You take like, you take like Red Dead, for instance, online. Man, I've seen people spend so much dollars for a gun. I'm not really sure if they changed that, if they changed their philosophy on that.
Mm.
Rockstar did that. They changed their philosophy because I know a lot of people was getting mad online because you gotta go out there and buy a gun, and the gun might be like $5, $6
Right.
for a
Listen,
gun.
ain't nothing like Call of Duty though. I done seen people complain about Star Wars, but ain't nothing like Call of Duty. All
Star
them
Wars
damn loot
trip.
boxes, all them loot boxes, people was buying in Call of Duty like crazy.
You don't know.
Psh, them boxes popping up and it gives you a gun or some, or
Oh,
you
Call
might
of
get some
Duty. Call of
skins.
Duty started doing that shit too.
What? The loot boxes is crazy. When you buy, like I spend money on my credit card and I buy a box. Now it might go and it might give me some, or it might give me a skin to a gun, or I might get a gun. You understand? Or get somewhere where it gives me enough things where I can unlock a gun.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
But the
Call of
crazy.
thing,
Duty was one
the
of the
thing,
ones that was loot
but
boxing shit out of people, bro. They made tons of money. World War II, you crazy? What?
okay, but let me ask you this. But I want to ask you this though. But see, it wasn't crazy like it was on that last Star Wars game where you buy a gun and you can't even use the gun when you want to use the gun.
Oh
Now, that's
shit! Really?
craziness.
Wow.
You buy a gun and you can't use the
That's that's
gun
that's
only
that's
when they
crazy.
want you to use the gun.
No, no, no,
That's
no,
crazy on that new on
no,
that
no,
last
no,
Star
no,
Wars
no,
game.
no,
And
no.
that's the
That's
reason why when that last Star Wars movie came out, they took a hit
ah.
for that too. That's the reason why Disney told them no. You know, y'all gonna take that out. They did. They took it
I
out.
mean,
I'm very sure they brought it back, but
Fortnite, Call of Duty, the way they was getting
yeah.
in people's pockets, bro, was ridiculous.
That's
But
crazy.
like I said,
World War
but like
Two.
I
I don't
said,
know about Black Ops and all that, but I know World War Two. I was a victim in that one too.
Right,
With my
right,
wife, come my wife be like, "Babe, get one, buy this, right? We'll do it." But yo, I
right,
ain't gonna lie, it got some money out of me, man. When you do the
but
math
see,
on it,
this is
you
what
like,
I
damn.
always had.
right, right.
This is what I have always said. I don't mind them. You know, you know, if you don't want to grind, if you want to buy something, that's fine. That's your option. I don't mind them. You know, if they if yeah, I don't mind them If you would, if I don't mind them putting things on it to buy. I don't have anything against that. That's all up on the individuals to buy. So if they want to
Right.
buy it, that's their option.
Well,
I don't
you
have no.
know too
Yeah,
what it
but
is too, Chuck.
now
You know
some
what
of
it
the
is
prices,
too,
bro, the $25 and all that is too much, bro.
Chuck. What it is too.
Don't get
Remember, and I don't mean to interrupt you guys. I'm sorry. But remember, it's also some guys, right, like to game, but they don't have the freedom or the privilege to sit there because they're not young. They got family. Like Ghost Rider works, a lot of hours. He barely has time to play. That's why for him, he'll rather do like a little show and talk about what's going on to get it like this game fix out of his chest because it's something quick and to the point, and then he moves on, goes to bed. But he can't sit there and dedicate just 10 hours straight after he gets out of work to play games and go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning and be at work at 5 in the morning. He
Nah,
can't do that. He can't. So for him to have the option that if he goes into the game and maybe buy some stuff that he could only get if he grind, he I don't see nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm trying to say?
like,
And,
uh,
and,
No, I'm just wrong with it either.
like for the quarter. See, I don't buy. I only see on the online Fortnite when I buy it. It's just out of costumes, and I know it's like just basically it's out of 100 people, and you're trying to survive. But the Call of Duties, when I was getting them, I would grind it out, and I was making my prestigious. The only thing
right,
is with that, when you get some of that, you might get certain things that. All right, I'm doing this airborne. I was down with airborne. I like airborne. So when I was doing the airborne class, you unlock certain things. And when you unlock the certain things, they give you that certain gun or that hot little banner or something like that. So when I would do that, we'll see what banners we'll get. But as I started noticing, when you do that to get nice banners and nice things like that, you are spending money. So I fell
right,
victim to that. But other than that, I usually when I play Call of Duty, I used to love playing the campaign, but I will always jump into multiplayer. When I get on my Call of Duty, it's straight multiplayer. Hands down, I like shooting it out against other people, having fun. That's what I do. With my
right.
yeah, I gun it out. So
Well, what they should do is if they know you bought it,
mhm.
like if you bought it, they should not allow you to go into any game match with people that actually grind it to get those powers because they're gonna feel cheated. You know what I'm saying?
Now
They
it's
should just allow you to go into lobbies with people that bought it, just like you.
but
You see what I'm saying?
check it. But when when
Yeah, that'd be a good. Hey,
when people
you know
buy
what? You
things,
know what?
it
That'd
doesn't
be
mean
a good
it's better.
idea. That'd be a good idea to bring up.
What?
That'd be a good idea to bring up. He bought. That's a good idea like that. Other
I
one, make
mean, it's
it
probably
where.
easier said than done, but
Yeah,
that would
it's
be
like
probably a way to work
I don't
so
know. I
people
don't
don't
know
feel cheated.
what
You
game.
know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I hear. Like, I'm gonna bring it up. Crack gamer and them says, "Oh no, there's people that get things and they get an upper hand. When I'm playing Call of Duty, you don't get an upper hand. And in World War II and all that, they don't give you just a better gun. A better gun is not gonna make you a better shooter. It's the way you shoot. It's the
Right.
way you play and how you
Your
shoot.
skill,
Your
right?
skill level. Now,
Your
people that
movement.
usually say, "Yo," I'm not lying to you. People that go like this, "Yo, man, he got the better gun." Usually they trash. They not. They always complaining. That's why a lot of Call of Duty and a lot of Call of Duties, a lot of guns get nerfed because you
Right.
always got that person crying, "Oh no, 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 no," complaining right in the developers, "No, no, no, this gun is too OD. This gun is too powerful. This gun is this and that," and they lower the stats on the gun. They bring down the power level, and then another gun becomes strong. It's all about knowing what guns to use. When you watch the pros, you learn what type of assault rifles they like. What submachine guns is the best submachine guns. You get the gun that you like and how you feel, what perks you put on it to shoot it faster, what perks you like on your gun, your attachments. You know what I mean? You like your iron sights or you like the red dot. If you don't like that, you like the holographic sight. If you know what I mean? It's different things. If you're a rifle guy, what you like the ACOG on it, it's different things to making you a bet how you playing your style. If you a runner,
Right.
you a runner. Meaning like I like running and shooting and quick pace gaming. You understand? Then you got guys that like sitting back and playing not too fast. My
Right.
my wife likes running. See, there's different things. Like I like running and gunning, but I also know how to fall back and sit down and play my position and catch people running like idiots, like the chickens with their head cut off. Because if you really go into war, are you gonna run out there? Are you just gonna run in the middle of the block? Nah, you
Right.
gonna play. You got to play strategy wise. Now Gears of War, I gotten better in Gears of War. Gears of War is same thing. You gotta run up you gotta run up, hey, you know what I mean? Gears of War is a different type of shooter. Period.
Right.
Halo's a different type of shooter. I don't think you can actually get anything, buy anything, and get stronger guns. That's what I'm trying to say. When people say that, I wonder what game they talking about. Because I know definitely in Call of Duty, you're not buying a gun and getting better at it. There's no
Well,
way they don't even give you guns like that.
to be honest, I just think a lot of people have a valid argument about it, but I think it's like you said, if you, it depends on the situation and scenario, and like you just pointed out, it really is. If your gun could be strong, but if you're not good at your
Exactly.
your flanking, at your moving, at your execution, your strategy, you can still get pwned no matter what. You know what I'm trying to say?
And those people
Um,
get upset and complain. I'm telling you,
right.
bro.
I don't think you could just. It's as easy as blaming it on oh, that gun is more powerful. I mean, that could be part of it, but you gotta have skills to play online. Period.
Exactly.
If you don't have skills, it's really not gonna matter what you do or how you do it. If you don't have that skill, you could get destroyed by somebody with weaker
Oh heck
armor,
yeah.
with a weaker gun, because they just skilled at the game. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And that's something that we got to understand uh, with
Like
the mindset that of
I,
that's of
I'll give you a quick example. Think about
mhm,
this. When you watch, if you watch the Call of Duty big tournaments, like the World League tournaments, and the best in the world after gaming, you got FaZe. I can name names. There's a lot of teams out there that got their best players that they put spending money on. Now, when these dudes go at it, you see the best in the world running with like the same legit guns. The same
right,
legit guns. Now you looking like, damn, yo, he shot him like. Brrr. They playing core. It's like core, but the dude hit him like like 8 times. The dude turned around, hit him with like maybe 4 shots, dropped him, dropped his man
right.
like 2 or 3. He don't
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
nothing
It
to
gets
on.
crazy. It gets
He's
crazy.
using it. They using all the same guns. When you
Yeah,
really look at it, there's no gun that's more powerful than. Yes, they got certain guns that's more powerful, but it might be lacking something. It
yeah,
might
yeah.
shoot a little more stronger, but the gun got mad recoil on it. So when
Yeah,
you
it's
pull
not.
that trigger, if you hold it, it's gonna shoot out of control on you. You
Yeah, it's
understand?
not just
Like
as simple. It's not just as simple as, oh, you got a powerful gun and that's it. No, you got to have
exactly.
skills. You
It's
definitely
not
got to have
only
skills. Yeah.
it's yeah, it's definitely the skills, and plus every gun got its up and downs. You might have faster people,
Patience. You
yeah,
need
like
patience.
it
Have
might be
patience.
patience, and it like let's just say your gun is more powerful than mine by 2 points. So my gun might be a little more accuracy on it, lesser power, but my stability and all that is steadier than yours. I can steady shoot it. Yours, when you hit that trigger, it's gonna go up on you. You understand?
Right,
It
right, right.
got more recoil. So when you if we pop up on each other quick, when you pull that trigger and you hold it down, you gun it. Your gun is going up, or it might go
Right,
sideways. I'm shooting straight and steady. I'm gonna
right,
take you
right,
out faster because while you spitting yours and going a little out of control, you can hit me, but I'm hitting your body straight. My gun is
right,
shooting more straighter. So, especially on close quarters, you want to use some machine guns or shotgun up and close. Mid range, assault rifle all day, boy. Some machine guns you can
right,
get them like distance out, further out, you got assault rifles. Deeper out, now you know you got your sniper rifles, marksman
right,
rifles. That's how you see different what power shots, what works for what. You understand? Close quarters, submachine gun, shotgun, you dead. If you got a assault rifle and you up close and you're going gun to gun and he got a submachine gun, say, hold on, you dead. That submachine
right,
gun gonna rip you to pieces and they're gonna keep
right,
it moving. So you gotta
right,
know when to pick your fights. And if I know that somebody's better than me, like I shot him and I'm turning red and he got me from a distance, I'm running. I'm not gonna stay there and shoot it. I'm out. I'm gonna go
right,
and get in another position. Wait for him to run out that door so I'm gonna blow his ass up. You can't go to if you know you can't win that gunfight, why proceed on it?
right, right,
You're just gonna lose and they're gonna get a point and stuff. They might kill you and get a chopper. They might do something, get a bomb, a missile or something, or another perk. I just wanted to go back to the old ways. Now, not with those special moves where you jump in the air and slam something on the ground, or I just want it the same way where you get a helicopter, you gotta earn it. None of that special moves. Give me my
right.
grenade, give me all of that. Let's take it back. But that's neither here or there, guys.
Yeah, well,
All I
just to
know
make
is
the play,
this.
just to make the
Hell yeah, I
playground,
love my war
the
games.
play, just to make their playing field a little bit fair. Yeah, more
Yeah,
fair to everyone. Yeah.
but
Well, I
Bob,
mean, I think. Yeah. What's up?
do your thing, Bob.
No, no, no. I was just gonna say, I gotta kind of like start going. I think maybe we could end it here because
Yeah,
we
definitely.
touched the topics that we wanted to talk about at least. But I think I don't know. I think this is gonna be good for sure. For sure. Obviously for the PlayStation fan base and for the Nintendo fan base, because now they don't have to worry about their companies having to figure out how to put money and to the side to research and develop to get a better infrastructure for their services or their online gaming and stuff like that. So I think you got to look at it with a broader perspective and different light, and not be like, oh, nah. Because I know a lot of people, oh, this Sony had to bend over and take it from Microsoft, which in a way, yeah, it is because they talk crap about Microsoft throughout the whole generation. They did, but I don't think Microsoft's just seeing it that way. Microsoft's basically seeing it as we want to join together as a dominant force to compete with the other competitors that are trying to come in the field, in the playing field, that have money and that can play ball, and also to establish better relationships for future endeavors like if they make multi-plat games and you want to cross-play, because some people don't have the ability or the option to buy both consoles, they can do it by cross-playing within different consoles, and just giving better stability to the PlayStation fan base and also the Nintendo fan base. And at the same time, they're going to make money out of it, money that they're going to be able to incorporate and to put into the Xbox brand. The studios buying more studios, making more acquisitions, as they say, or adding more games in Game Pass, or making more exclusives that will be uh, first party instead of third party from Microsoft. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's my final thought on the topic that we had at hand. I think it's going to change the game for in a good way, not in a bad way. So I think people are getting concerned and doom and glooming really for no reason. They shouldn't. I think they're getting ahead of themselves and
yes,
thinking too negative instead of looking at this for the positive. You know what I mean?
yeah. I understand.
That's how I feel.
I, Tuck, you want to shine in before we go?
Well, the way I feel about the whole thing with this server, I mean with this Xbox and Sony combining thing, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think
Hmm.
this that the PS4 people can just the Sony ponies, they're gonna always complain about this. Let's just be honest, they're gonna complain about it. They're gonna try to downplay it as much as they can. But what it boils down to at the end of the doggone day is all about money.
Hmm.
And that's really basically all I got to say is about money.
Well, now that
Um,
just.
so
Uh,
Sony got to do something.
Hmm.
Got to do something. So why not do it? I mean, the way I see it, I know. Google wasn't gonna give no love because
nah,
Google tried to get their thing started up too.
Well, Google's
They
trying to be. They're trying to be the
man,
competitors.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest. I can't hold it back no more. Yo, ponies
I
on
mean,
that
they're still
now.
trying to get this, they streaming service thing, which I think that will be a joke. At the end of the day,
Hmm.
the thing is not ready to be going with the streaming yet.
Right. Well,
Like I said,
think.
it's a damn shame that Google brought that thing up, and then all of a sudden, Microsoft been talking about that for the last 2 years, and then all of a sudden they
3 years.
went down. I'm like, okay, like it's something new that Microsoft never did talk about.
Well, think of it this way.
Microsoft,
Let me give you guys a quick example because I thought about it while you were talking. To imagine had Nintendo and Sega, right, join forces in that era when Sony had the most money and was buying off all third parties, right, and they would have helped each other out. Then they would have been able to overcome and dominate as a team, even though they kept doing their own thing. But they would have been able to dominate and not, and we would have never lost Sega, let's say as a whole, or even a hardware company, right? Or and we probably would have never seen Nintendo go to that drought with those consoles that failed for them because they would have joined forces. So this is something you got to look at as them helping each other to preserve each company and for them not to die and go away because they're helping each other out. You know what I'm trying to say? In a good way. Not that they still can't, Sony can't still be Sony or Microsoft can't still be Microsoft or the same thing with Nintendo. They can still offer their exclusives and what they like and what they don't like. But just where it counts, somewhere where it counts that it will help benefit not only Microsoft with money, but them with offering their fan base a better structure online in the case of this situation, and this scenario. If you think about it that way, Sega and Nintendo would probably would have never had those fallouts
I,
and and drought if they would have helped each other back then when Sony first came on the scene.
I'm gonna tell.
Okay,
I'm
this is what I
gonna,
want to. Okay, I want to ask both of
I'm,
y'all this question right quick. Okay, now let me ask you this, and I'm very, very serious about this. Do you think there's any kind of way that Sony can get live?
no,
Or
I
Xbox
mean,
Live?
yeah.
they
Do you
got
think
their
they
No,
can
own,
no,
get
no. They have,
live?
own
they
infrastructure.
have,
They
they
getting
have,
around,
they
but
have, they have PSN. They
yeah,
have PSN network, and they can
So
stay with
they're
that.
being
The
fit.
only
So, in
difference,
other words, that's
the
not
only
going
difference,
anywhere.
no, no, the only
That's not
difference,
going.
yeah, but that's their bread and butter.
yeah, the only difference will be is that their PSN network will run on the Azure technology,
Exactly.
not Xbox
Oh, okay.
Live, not Xbox Live, but the technology where it's going to be better, structure with more stability and a better ecosystem, maybe dedicated
Okay.
servers.
So they.
I, uh, um,
Okay. So they're kind of getting out of that Gaikai, that service that they bought.
Well, that's what it seems like.
um,
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
we got a
Yeah,
question in the comment section.
yeah.
Other things said, bottom line, Microsoft saved Sony's broke ass. Microsoft doesn't need Sony for anything. Sony will now pay Microsoft a fee and stay alive. Oh, I can't hold it
Well,
Okay. You know
for.
I,
what?
I
You know
understand where he's
what?
coming from. I mean, I
That's
get it.
that's my type of guy right there. Because he just, in a nutshell, he telling the truth.
Well, I tell you this, I can't hold it no more. Hold them L's, man.
Hold
Hold
the
that
mouse.
L. Hold that L for all the fanboys on our comment section for all the hate we took for years. Hold that fucking L right
So
now.
at the end, so Ghost. At the end of the day, when you technically look at it, Microsoft didn't lose this generation. They
I
won
mean,
No.
listen, in all
because
reality, when you
they
make
won
millions,
because they had to help the two companies that were considered the dominant force. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying?
uh,
They may not have won with console sales, but with the perspective and having the power of control to make things better, they basically won.
technology.
Yeah, they basically won.
Yep.
Well, I'll
You know
tell
what
you
I
this.
mean?
Oh,
End
let
of-
me add this. Let me
wait,
add this right quick, y'all. Let me add this.
uh,
See, this is what me, Bone, all of us has been talking about as far as these console sales are damn concerned.
Hmm.
Okay? You only got 700,000 people on your servers. Okay, but you got 97 million systems out there.
Well,
Okay?
that's their gaming service. Talk their
Like I
gaming,
always been saying,
not on
Bone,
PSN. On
you
PSN
ain't get
now
what
they
I'm
have
saying.
30. On PSN
You
now they
ain't get
have
what I'm
30.
saying.
They have
What I'm
32
trying to
million
say is
active
this.
people.
What I'm trying to
Hmm.
say is this.
Hmm.
It don't add up.
Oh yeah,
Never
yeah, for
have,
sure.
never will add up.
Yeah, for sure, for
Like I
sure.
said today,
But I think that's part of the
PS
problem.
I tell you like,
Sony don't have that many people in people's houses.
I
They
think
might
that's
have
part
that
of the.
many people. They might have that many people's stores,
y-
but
um,
houses,
Well, talk that. That's
never.
part of.
I
I think that's part of the reasoning and the problem because people either don't feel safe having PSN because of the way that it's structured, or because the other factor is a lot of their games just do not offer online gaming. So they don't really have a lot of people out there that feel the need to have the XPSN because their games don't offer multiplayer like that. You see what I'm trying to say?
I
That's
understand
another factor.
what you're saying.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, still don't add up. I still don't
Oh
say
no,
they got nothing.
it doesn't. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that the reason why it doesn't add up, I believe, is because of those two main factors. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, but
That's
you gotta have something to update the damn system. You gotta
well.
have some kind of damn internet to update the damn system.
Hopefully, this will be for the best, and not the worst.
well, I'm gonna end it like this, guys. I had a blast with my boy Hebot and Tuckmaster. It's getting late. Your boy gotta
Hmm.
go to work. I know Hebot gotta do something. Tuck, I know
Yeah,
you
I
go
gotta pick up my daughter from work. Yeah. Hmm.
check it.
Hmm.
Hebot, let them know where they can find you at.
Oh, wherever you want, you see my name. Obviously, Twitter. You can find me on Facebook on some of the Facebook group like the Infinite Room of the DX Mansion, Project Xbox. You could also find me obviously on my YouTube channel, which is Hebot. And obviously on Xbox Live, I'm Hebot Space 8. Um, and just you feel free. You can hit me up and DM me, whatever, if you want to ask questions, if you want to do something, collaborate with me and anything. I'm a really easygoing person, easy to talk to. I'm not a monster. So, I'm here for you guys. So we can, support and help each other. It's been a blast. I had a great time. And I hope you guys enjoyed our perspective of how we try to explain what we think this is going to do for gaming and how it's going to benefit, if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, instead of just looking at it as, oh boy, here we go, the X twats again doing a show making fun of Sony, because that wasn't the purpose of the show.
No.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And I
You
Tuck, let
know.
them know where they can find you at.
Okay, this your boy DJ Tuckmaster. You can find me on Xbox. You can find me on really just the Xbox, really.
You're
Anybody
on
who want
Twitter
to
too,
just
Tuck.
sit
You're on
around
Twitter
talk with
too.
me and all that stuff, we all cool with it and all that stuff. But this whole show right here wasn't about down in Sony. This show right here is about really just, hey, it's a good thing for Sony what Sony's doing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, and I'm
Hmm.
glad to see. And plus, you can get the thing and start cross playing more too. You never could tell,
Hmm.
uh, and that's a good thing. Sony needs to come out of that because a lot of people really want to cross play. I
Oh,
mean,
it's
for
going to benefit
Microsoft,
both of them, Xbox and Sony.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
and Microsoft has always had been talking about cross playing anyway, and that'd be
Hmm.
a good idea for both system to cross play. It's
Yeah.
not
Hmm.
a bad thing, y'all. It's a good thing. And for all these people who
It's
out there saying Sony this, Sony that, and everything, you know what? All I gotta say is this: all these Sony ponies out there,
Hmm.
um, y'all didn't win the console war. Microsoft did
Hmm.
because don't forget, y'all got to ask us to help y'all sorry asses out to the Sony ponies.
oh man.
Okay,
Real
I
talk.
ain't talking about the normal fans. I'm talking about the ponies. Period.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. The
Let's
haters,
get
the
this
haters.
straight, ponies. I
The
don't
haters.
like you.
For the haters
Never
on
will
Twitter.
like you, and that's all it is to it. Yes, and hell yeah, and I am a fan, boy. I am a corporate slave.
Ah,
Uh,
Tuck. Oh
so
man,
let's put it
Tuck.
like that, okay? And the thing about it is, listen, I'm a corporate slave, but I'm a realist too.
I tell you like
Sony
this.
needs help. Microsoft don't need no help. Y'all came to us. I mean, they might have came together on talking all about all this stuff. But at the end of the doggone day, who's gonna be paying who money to use the servers?
Oh, Tuck, you
Sony
down right now.
is
I
gonna have them. They're gonna have to pay to use that service. So now all I gotta say is I'm a corporate slave. I'm a Microsoft guru. Call me whatever the hell you want to call me. Hey, this is your boy DJ Tugmaster, Ghost Rider. Thanks for inviting me onto this show.
Yo,
And I
anytime,
hope
my
that
brother,
we do this thing
anytime.
next week. Hey, Ghost Rider,
Yeah,
we need to get together on our sports thing, man.
yeah,
Cause they got some
definitely.
good fights coming up this week.
You already know, man. That's why my show's called Let's Talk About It. We talk about gaming, we could talk about boxing, we talk about a lot of things, man. Sport,
Hey,
talk about
cause
football,
I
we
want to
talk about
see.
basketball. You know what I mean? My gaming channel right now, and this is my podcast, you understand? And that's why it's called Let's Talk About It. I was gonna tell you, man, other Zinc, thank you for stopping by, man. And he said that
Yes.
they came playing some Keith Sweat begging. Yo, I'll
Check
tell
it.
you this. My name is Ghost Rider 730. Thank you for stopping by and showing love today, and I appreciate it. But all I
Yes,
gotta
sir.
say is this: for the Sony fanboys, not the real Sony gamers out there. I'm not a hater, but hold them L's. For the people on Twitter talking smack, that's the ones we talking about. The fanboys like that, they be hating on us, calling us liars. Well, they can hold that L because right now they company, they fanboying for a company that's basically on their knees right now.
And all I
God bless
gotta say is,
y'all. And all I gotta say is peace out, y'all. Thanks for dropping my one.
Peace.
see you
Peace.
later,
Have a good
y'all.
night.
Bot, Tuck,
All right.
Salute.
I love you, my nigga.
Igual, papi.
Peace out,
Love you
yo.
too, papi.
Peace out.
Peace.
Love all
One.
of y'all. Talk to you later.